Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today my tutorial for you is on a triangular shaped box, bag, pouch thing. I don't know what you'd call it. You can see as you're looking down on it that it's a triangle shape. If I put my hand over the top to hold the eggs and turn it to the bottom, it's more than just a triangle. It's a freestanding box and it's all pinched close. I'm going to show you how to make it and I think it's lovely. We've got the Designer Series paper stacks paper, the new extra spectacular rubber stamp from the spring catalogue, the gorgeous baker's twine from the spring catalogue. So I'm going to show you how to make it. So, oh, runaway egg. So you need obviously the Designer Series paper stack, which if you haven't got it, you need a piece of cardstock or paper rather that's 4.5 by 6.5 inches, 11.5 by 16.5 centimetres. But I wanted to use these because you get 48 sheets for £6.25, and that's just pence per sheet. I can't even work out what that is, and there's such lovely designs and beautiful spring colours that I just needed to use them, and they were just perfect for this particular project. So I've got one sheet, this one with this lovely floral pattern, and I have got my scoring tool down here which I'm going to reach, and you need the long side at the top, so your 6.5. I'm going to keep sending eggs everywhere. I think they've all fallen out again. Just bashed that. Let me just move them right out of the way, then I can see what I'm doing. So long side at the top, 6.5 inch side at the top, and you're going to score it at 2, 4 and 6 inches, which is 5, 10, 15 centimetres, and then turn it round and score it again at 3.5 inches, which is 9 centimetres. So I'm going to move that out of the way because I don't need that. And then fold your score lines. And these ones that are going vertically, bottom to top, you need to burnish these because we're going to be using the scallop tag topper punch. And I don't normally burnish paper because I don't want to risk cracking it. A bit of gentle pressure just to get it completely flat is absolutely fine. And you fold it all in on itself. Actually, that one's going to have to go back. And where you've got your scored line, we're going to push this side into the scallop tag topper punch. Now, if you're going to work with cardstock, please, please, please only put one layer of card in your tag topper punch because you're going to break it if you put any more in that. It says it in the instructions, but with paper you can get away with 3 or maybe even 4 layers of Designer Series paper, but no more than that. So I've got my scored line here, I can just about see it, so I'm going to push that end into the scallop tag top punch, and I can see it's gone all the way up to the top, push down and slide it out, and when I open it out I have punched all in one go, but we want to fold this one the opposite way over so that I get a nice pretty little trim all the way around. So I'm going to grab some snail, catch all of those bits and push them down, and then this time I'm going to put some sticky strip along here, but I'm also going to put it in another slightly peculiar place. So I'm going to put the sticky strip along this side first. And then to get this pinch close on the bottom, you come to the bottom part, and what we want to do, we've got these scored lines going in that direction, so we want to pinch, but only at the bottom. So we're folding this line here to meet that one, but only pinching in that bottom place. So it's not a scored line, which is why I didn't score it earlier. So it's just a pinched line. And the same here, we're going to make this score line here, if I fold that over, this score line meet up with that one, but just by folding it in half and pinching. Hopefully you can see that. So it's just pinching, and then again with the last one, fold this score line up to meet there and pinch. And when you look down on it, you've got this sort of wiggly line. So we've got the full scored lines here and here and here, and these pinched ones at the bottom. So when I come and put my last piece of sticky strip on, you're going to come onto the back of the box and run sticky strip all the way along the bottom and I needed to get those pinch lines in first so that I'm not trying to fight against sticky strip. And now take off this one at the side and fold it up. And obviously because it's a triangle we can't lay it flat because it hasn't got equal numbers of sides. So that's that bit done, and you come in with your paper piercer or a pair of tweezers, find the end of your sticky strip. I can see this because it's where my seam is, and peel it all off, all the way around. Peel it all off. I've just stuck my nail to it. And then just pinch, and where you've made those crease lines before, it will meet. Look at that, and press a nice bit firmly, and that's the box made. Isn't that cute? So I want to do the stamping, but I'm doing stamping with markers because if you have a look, I've got a pretty pattern going on. So I've got the extra spectacular, and I've got the little sheep. How cute! So I've got this already up on my block. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crumb cake. Is this crumb cake? It is crumb cake actually. I picked out. It's not. I said before it was Sahara sand. It's not. It's crumb cake that's in the background. And I'm going to go all over the sheep and his basket and the eggs, all over that. And then I'm going to come to the real red, and I'm going to do the wording. And I'm going to come back in with my marker. This is Coastal Cabana, this one. And I can see the eggs are in the basket there. And I'm going to go over them, and I'm going to scribble off because it's picked up a little bit of the crumb cake. Go over them again and scribble off. And that should now have left me Coastal Cabana just on the egg part. So I'm going to stamp it down, and hopefully you'll be able to see that. You probably can't, but I've just picked up the eggs. It's so cute. Extra large oval punch. This is the very big one. Over the little chappy there. He's so sweet. I've got a tiny itty bitty punch, and this is the little scallop flower. One of those. I'm going to take my real red marker, and I've got a sponge around somewhere. There it is, my real red sponge. And with your marker, if you take the fat end onto your sponge and just stroke the side of it onto the sponge, you get the same ink that is in an ink pad. And you can just sponge in the same way that I've done plenty of times before. So all the way around, out onto the little flower, probably covering my fingers in ink. There we go. And then my paper piercing mat, which is around somewhere. Back of the paper piercer into the flower. To pop it up, I've got a crystal rhinestone here. I take one of the little diddy ones into there, and then my mini glue dots. I love these things. Onto the back of the flower, and then I can pop this down here. Have it just over there. And then I want a mini glue. I don't want a mini glue dot at all. I want a stamping dimensional, and I want it at the bottom because I want this to stick higher than the side of the box, as you can see there. And I've got my beautiful baker's twine, and it's this sort of stained tea kind of colour, and this one's got silver in it, but there is another one that's got gold in it. So I'm going to tie a knot, a bow. Just loosen that, that's twisted itself. Tie a little bow. A mini glue dot on the back of that, and I can just put that over the top of the little lamb's head, just up there, and then the dimensional on the back, and I can pop that up so it's higher than that, and then you grab in your bag, and look, it's £1 for a bag, and these are from Spar, little corner shop up the road from me. And let's see how many we can fit in. I'm sure I filled 3 of these from one bag. So there's not very many left over. So that, let me tip this one on its side, let's lose the eggs, is my triangular shaped box. Oh, I've just knocked that one over as well. I'm losing eggs everywhere, all over my desk. That's my triangular shaped box with the gorgeous cute bottom to it. Isn't that sweet? But it's quite happily freestanding. No matter how many eggs you put in, you can fill it up quite happily. And it won't pop open, they won't fall out the bottom. And let's see if I can fit some more in. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's quite a lot in a little box. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Bye.